What's going on YouTube? Today we got a box up on the bench. This box has traveled quite the distance to get here, all the way from Hawaii. Um, we have a slider in here, and for those of you that are new to the hobby and don't know what that is essentially no motor, no ESC, no wheels, no tires, no receiver. Did I say receiver already? I have no idea. So essentially it's just a kit if you assembled it and then don't have all the other necessary things to complete it and make it a roller RTR. I've had this for quite some time now, just slowly throwing parts in to complete it, and now we're at the point to where I can do so. Given that it is winter and there is snow covering everything now, which putting this together now is kind of anticlimactic because I'm not going to be able to run this on anything. I might not be able to run it period because I do have pinions. I don't know if they're going to mesh with the spur gear that this thing has. I'm going to put the on the floor. Move shit out of the way. Here it is. Not a huge fan of the styling of this body, but again, it's for performance. But just personal preference, not a huge fan. I mean, granted, I did buy a 2019 Chevy Silverado body that I messed up twice. When I mean messed up, it's like too forward that way, so I'd just be rubbing the body with the tire, and it just looked really stupid having one side hella cut and the other side not so as much. We're gonna take the body off and bring you guys in closer so we can take a good look of what's under here. Okay, now you guys are closer. We can lift the body off, given that they're already off. I took the pins off. You guys watch me do so. Now, for you, can't speak English. For those of you who don't know what we're looking at here, this is a TGH Chipa, Sharpa, Tamiya, Tamaya, Tomato, Tomato, however you want to say it. Chassis, we got carbon fiber rails. We have Super Shafty aluminum Capra axles, which Super Shafty is not cheap by any means. That's like, what, $600 just in axles all alone? That's crazy. We got some sort of custom front bumper. We got aluminum servo mounts, shocks. I don't know what these are, but these could be Traxxas big bore shocks, which is common, which is what Deluxe sells or modifies, which is pretty much their ultra short shocks. We got aluminum motor mount, and believe this is a 60 tooth spur, and I only have an 11, a 13, and a 14 pinion from Deluxe to go with this, so don't know if it's gonna like mesh into this or not. Yeah, aluminum rear bumper as well. Not running comps with this. Definitely not with the Capra axles. This thing would just be too wide to be going through gates. Even though you have seen some guys run Capra axles, well, I mean narrow, not wide. Like Vanquish F10s are as wide as I will go. Now I have to figure out where we want to start. I think we could start with the servo. Why not? I'm gonna have to go digging through my hardware to find screws to mount it. And I also don't know what shock oil is in these, or what kind of springs, which they could be low Simoniti, which is also common. Yeah. For a servo, we got an NSDRC RS800 V2. I had this in my Vanquish VRD Carbon before I sold it. These are great servos. I like them a lot. and I just like NSD in general. Great servos. And the guy that sold me this also included a servo horn as well. Let's put this aside. Open up the servo. Yeah. I just really like NSD. As you guys have seen on the channel, that's pretty much the only servo I run in terms of like comp rigs or comp crawlers. Here is one of these guys, which you can use to solder because these are a direct power servo. So you can either solder on one of these guys, or you can go on Amazon and get connectors with JSTs already on it, or you can go and get adapters off Reefs, which is where I got mine from. So we get the servo out of the packaging. Great quality as always from them. Waterproof. None of these go in water, so I ain't trying that. And they also do include, if you never bought anything from them before, they also include servo spacers for your mounts. Over here, and oh, you guys are sliding. Here and here if need be. Let's see. Yeah. And speaking of adapters, I don't think I grabbed an adapter for this, so I will be right back. I believe just took a glance at the things in the bag, and I believe they also include screws to mount the servo, which is awesome. There's one, there's two, I need two more. No? Okay, cool. They do not, but I could probably use this to mount the servo horn, which I'm not going to do quite yet because I want to get centered, all that fun stuff. Now we can see if I'm going to need those spacers or not. Here is the drag link. Nope, I will not. Oh, I am running into a problem though. So the back part of my servo hits the nut on this. I mean, I'll get you guys a closer look. This is what I mean. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see that at all. Yeah, okay. I'll use a pointer. This is gonna focus on my fingers. The nut that holds the spur gear on kind of interferes to here. Which, I mean, I can run it like this, that'll be fine. It doesn't actually interfere with the spear gear itself. It doesn't rub. And then it just limits my suspension travel, unless if I do use the spacers and have it out, which I might do now that I think about it. I'm going to use those spacers that came with everything. And I'm going to dig through my hardware bin. I'll be right back. Okay. Got the hardware. Think I'm going to need screw. One of them slightly longer than the others, but that's okay. Screw, then rotate the rubber piece. Squeeze that on as well. Screws in. Hopefully that should space the servo away. Far enough away from the spur so where it doesn't rub or hit that nut. Not yet. There's one. No, we clear it. Will my drag link be okay though? That's the other thing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Be golden. But I'm gonna need shorter screws. For now, this will do. Oh, this is gonna be a pain in the ass to do now. Which I should have just had them all done already. And then these screws are too long, but for now that'll be okay. I am not gonna put the other two in just so after I can go and find shorter screws, but for now that will do. We're not going to put the servo horn on yet. We're going to center that, which just stop rolling. That'd be fantastic. We're just going to turn the rig on once we have all the electronics on, and then that servo will center itself. Okay. Oh, and here is the adapter I was talking about earlier. This plugs into the Reg ST for your servo, and then this just plugs into your balance plug on your LiPo. Now we get to the exciting stuff, motor and ESC, but before we get to that, I also run one of these, which is just a voltage spike sensor. You kind of think of this as like a surge protective power bar, so if you get any power spikes or anything like that, it doesn't take out anything. So that's always a nice layer of protection to have. I have one in my G-Speed. And motor and ESC. Now for the motor, we have a revolver, which I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, is just an 1800 kV outrunner. Here, haven't ran any of Holmes motors before, so definitely going to be excited to give it a go once the snow goes away. There we go. Lighting. Go. And pretty sure we got a Crowmaster ESC as well to go with it, and which I bought both of these things off of my buddy because he sells parts as well, and he included a I'm pretty sure this is a programming card, so that's nice. Now, oh god, the bench is becoming a disaster. Not knowing where to put things. Stuff everywhere. That's how it goes. Sure. There we go. Like, I'm pretty sure this happens to everybody when they're building or finishing something. The bench just becomes the freaking tornado aftermath. Okay, let's take this out. See where a good spot to. Alright, yeah, here's here. And ESC itself. I don't know where to put things. There's the ESC itself. This goes into your receiver, battery, motor, and I think you can use this for direct power as well, or a BEC, but a lot of you guys probably know this already. But we have new people joining the hobby, so always nice to keep them in mind as well. Oop. I'm thinking like on the slider, and then we have those motor wires coming up here. Now I don't have a soldering iron, so I can't shorten anything, but I can route things if need be. So I think this is gonna go there. I'm not gonna obviously route all the wires on camera because that's gonna be boring. Motor, obviously in one spot for that to go here, which is right here, right in here. That's the little guy, which I'm going to set motor mesh. Now I don't know what I'm gonna do first. Oh god, it's okay, it's gonna stay in there. It's like, no, this is my home now. I am going to stay. Come on, little guy. I think. Come on. Thank you. I'm going to motor mesh stuff first. Route all these wires. And then I'll be back once that's all done. I say that a lot because a lot of things is like small tedious stuff like routing wires, finding screws in here, which isn't really entertaining. I mean, you can argue, ooh, neither is this, but to each their own. I'm gonna get that done and I'll be right back. Camera didn't want to stay up, kind of fell over in the tripod, so we're doing it this way instead. Let's take these two 1.5s out, and then they're right back in. You see, it's getting all tipsy and shit. Okay. These aside for now. Drill shaft goes there. This just goes in between the transfer case and whatever this is called. I don't think it really matters what's said. This is going to be RTR soon, which is exciting. Even though that I can't run this because everything's covered in snow. Well, it's not really covered in snow now, but it's winter. There you guys go. Might be better. Yeah. I can't wait to see how this does out at Robinhood, which is where a lot of our comps and that are. I have nothing like that where I am. Unfortunately, that would be nice to have that stuff closer if I lived closer to there. Because that spot for me is like an hour and 30 something minutes, or an hour 40, but that's me getting up at 7 in the morning, getting on the highway. Okay, drive shafts in. Excuse me. we can open up this. These are nice to have. I'm pretty sure I touched on this a little bit in the first part. I don't remember. I've been up since 5. You could think of these as like a surge protected power bar, where it doesn't take out anything if you get any power surges, or in this case power spikes. I have one in my G-Speed. This is a nice little extra protection to have. Like I said, I don't know if I've covered this already or not. I probably did. There's that little guy. And I need guide my radio. We're also going to have to bind it to the receiver because I have it bound to my ripper that I took out earlier today. So this I plug in to the Red JST for your servo. Plug that in here. And this plugs into here, which is the adapter. If you choose to go this route, you can also get plugs like TX60s and that with the Red JST already in them off like Amazon for cheap, or you could solder in your own, or the Red JST on the ESC. You can do that as well, or a BEC, which I might have to get my buddy to solder me up one because I don't have a solder station. And then the Red JST on the adapter just plugs in to the corresponding one on here. And this just plugs into your balance port on your battery, or balance plug. But a lot of you guys already know that, just for the new people in the hobby, because we get new people all the time. Keep them in mind as well. Now I'm gonna plug this mess in. Here. Figure this out. Okay. Okay, have the right plugs going in the right spots. You're not gonna be able to see this at all, I know, but I'm just plugging in the motor to the ESC right now, which is nothing really too vital that you need to see. Go. Motor and ESC is plugged in. I don't know why it's getting all tippy all of a sudden. It didn't do that before. I've never had that problem before. And then obviously your servo is going to get plugged into channel 1, and then your ESC gets plugged into channel 2. Boom. And also, where did I put? There it is. My bind loop. You can also get these super cheap off Amazon, which I bought this receiver off Amazon, and it came with it, which is a bonus, which just literally goes into the bind port on the receiver. A battery that would also suffice power. You need that to be able to turn things on. No power, things don't turn on. Okay. as well plug in. Ooh, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You can also put on the servo horn because then that way it will be centered. Which the guy that I bought this off of included a servo horn, which is nice of him to do so. Balance plug. In, and then obviously your battery goes into here. No smoke. It's okay. It has no signal, so it's going to be making that noise. So then you're going to hold down your bind button and turn on your GT5. And now it's bound. The easiest binding to do ever. And now our servo is centered. I have nothing to actually... not prepared. We got power. I quickly grabbed a screw out of my little red magnet tray, but I also now have, since my TOF Trucks of Fortune came in Friday, we opened that up. I have a rubber parts mat, so we get to use that. That would be fun. I need my 1.5. We got one of this clamping style servo horns. I just put this on, and then the little 1.5 goes through, and then your screw that cinches down your servo horn to your servo spline. Just make sure you have the right end going on. I am getting excited. Ooh. That might have to wait because my silver horn hits the pumpkin housing, so that's a problem. I'm gonna find some sort of washer or something to space that out a little. Okay, I almost lit everything on fire. Yeah, that's not supposed to go there. A bunch of smoke will come out if you do that. And as a result, I do no longer have... I have throttle. But steering has left the chat. So it took out... Yeah, the pin... You can see that's gone. This battery's garbage. LiPo fire safe case it goes. Don't work on RCs when you're really tired, apparently. Because that doesn't go well. So now, I'm spending more money at NSDRC. I think I'm gonna get a 700 if they have them in stock. Then I don't have to run spacers. Well, you can barely see. Then I'm not gonna have to run spacers here. But yeah, this is garbage. 4 coffees isn't enough, apparently. And there it is, all completed, almost like a year after I have bought this thing. It's been quite some time. It's been sitting underneath my bed in its box for a while, and actually some of the screws started to rust because how long it's been since I've actually worked on it. The servo horn situation has been figured out. My buddy sells parts, so went to his place yesterday and picked up a offset servo horn, which just spaces this. This is longer than what it usually is, the part that goes over your spline on your servo. So it pushes this out more, and I had to, I was gonna say shave, I had to file quite a bit of this custom front bumper mount because it would hit here. But as you could see, we're clear up, down, side to side. However way this thing wants to flex, it will clear. And it is a clamping style servo horn. It's kind of like the VP one, so it's the clamping style, but instead of 2 1.5s, it's just 1. But yeah, this thing is RTR. Obviously, that's not where the battery is going to stay. It goes in here, which is quite difficult to put in and out of so far, and that's just the servo horn hitting the rails, which is moving the front portion of the chassis there. That's okay. Slow crawl is so nice. The ESC kind of sounds like a kettle, but everything sounds nice. The mesh was a little tight prior, the way I had it before, but now it's solid. What else? I am not running the Reefs adapter for direct power anymore on here, because the ESC has one of those in, which I believe is this thing right here. This is from the servo, and then the ESC actually has one of these red JSTs for direct power on it. So I'm not running the Reefs adapter for direct power like what I am on my G-Speed over there, which is how I also stole the tires off of wheels and tires, sorry. These are J-Concept Tusks, they're 1.9475, and the wheels are Vanquish KMC Riots. I'm just not running the center cap on it. I had to steal the FlySky receiver out of the optic, and I have sad news. The Ripper has been sold in a little bit of a money situation, so that's the reason being why it has been sold. It was just a very quick, easy way to get a good chunk of change legally pretty quickly. But if you're watching this, person that bought it, or Tom, I forget your last name, the box in which your panels are in there, those are already shipped that Monday or tomorrow, and then the Ripper itself just has to get bubble wrapped and put in a box, and it'll be on its way to you. But yeah, and like I've said earlier, this was an older video that I'm just finishing up now because I've had other projects and everything else on the go. Haven't been able to finish this, but good to get this finished. Simply because of the servo horn situation that is now fixed. So that is good. I can't wait to get this out at Robin Hood, which I've been going to quite a bit, as you guys have been seeing. It's an hour and 30 minutes to an hour 40, so it's not too bad of a drive. That didn't sound too good. It should be fine. You guys hear what I mean by tea kettle? I think that's the motor. I thought it was the ESC, but it's punchy. It'd be good for a comp situation, but I'm not running this in a comp because of Capra axles. I hope I don't strip the spur gear on this thing, like how my G-Speed. I used myself as an obstacle, just had my legs out like this, and I just crawled over, and it's been fine, so yeah, it's gonna be a wrap for this video. Thank you guys for watching.